You're watching South Asian Newsline, and here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Friday, the 21st of March. US official hails Tulsi Gabbard's India visit, highlights decade-long US-India tie. Inflation in Pakistan, Ramadan brings price surge instead of relief. And Bangladesh interim government rules out Awami League ban but promises accountability. And now for all the details. A spokesman from the US Office of the Director of National Intelligence confirmed that Tulsi Gabbard's recent meetings in India focused on intelligence sharing, defense, counter-terrorism and transnational threats. Gabbard on her visit to India has expressed gratitude to PM Modi for the invitation to the Raisina dialogue, emphasizing the strong US-India relationship. A report.
A spokesperson at the U.S. Office of Director of National Intelligence DNI has said that Tulsi Gabbard's meetings in India focused on bilateral cooperation in areas of intelligence sharing, defense, counter-terrorism and transnational threats. The spokesperson further said that Gabbard's visit to New Delhi highlighted the decades-long strong U.S.-India relationship that is bolstered by the leadership of and friendship between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President Donald Trump. Gabbard thanked Prime Minister Narendra Modi for inviting her to the Raisina dialogue. She noted that the ties between the two nations have been strong for decades. The India-US relationship has grown stronger in recent years with increased collaboration in defense, trade, technology and counter-terrorism. Both nations share democratic values and strategic interests, making their partnership crucial for regional stability and global security.
And amid the Islamic holy month of Ramadan, many in Pakistan's Karachi are feeling the severe pinch of inflation, with prices of essential goods skyrocketing instead of declining. A report.
Markets across Pakistan's Karachi are witnessing an unprecedented surge in prices of food and other essential commodities, making it difficult for residents to manage daily expenses. Citizens complain that instead of receiving relief during Islamic holy month of Ramadan, they are being burdened further.
बताएं ना कौन सी सस्ती है, कौन सी चीज सस्ती? आग लगी हुई हर जगह आग लगी हुई।
सर बाहर ममालिक में रमजान में कीमतें कम होती हैं। हमारे ममालिक में कीमतें कम।
हम मुसलमान हैं ना, हम मुसलमान हैं, हम पहले से छुरियां तेज रखते हैं। हम छुरियां तेज रखते रमजान आ रहे हैं, ज़िबा करेंगे। और वो लोग वो गैर मुस्लिम है, लेकिन महंगाई जो है उनके यहाँ आप देखें कितना इंटेंसिव देते हैं वो। यहाँ दे रहा है कोई? यहाँ तो जिसके पास जाते हैं वो पहले से लेके बैठा हुआ।
Basic food items such as flour, sugar, fruits, vegetables and meat have seen significant price hikes. Many families already struggling with financial instability are now forced to cut down on their Ramadan essentials.
महंगाई तो हुई है, सबके लिए हुई, और क्या बताऊं, जो खास तनख्वाहदार हैं उनका तो बहुत बुरा हाल है। जो जिनका काम है, अपना बिजनेस है, वो तो महंगा आता तो महंगा बेच भी रहना, सुना आपने। लेकिन बेचारा तनख्वाहदार की तनख्वाह तो वही है बेचारे की, उसको देखें उसकी तो बचत भी नहीं हो रही है आजकल, उसकी बच्चे भी हैं, उसकी अपनी फैमिली है, क्या खाए और क्या बचा है उसमें से।
Despite repeated calls for intervention, there is little sign of government relief. As Pakistan grapples with economic challenges, citizens are left to navigate the harsh reality of an expensive Ramadan.
Following the visit of the American delegation to Kabul, Zalmay Khalilzad, the former U.S. Special Representative for Afghanistan, announced that George Glezmann, an American citizen, was freed after 2 years of Taliban detention. Khalilzad stated that the Taliban agreed to release Glezmann as a gesture of goodwill towards U.S. President Donald Trump and the people of United States. However, there is no information available about the fate of Mahmoud Shah Habibi, an Afghan-American citizen who remains in Taliban custody. During their trip in Kabul, Zalmay Khalilzad and Adam Boehler, the U.S. Special Envoy for Hostages, met with Amir Khan Muttaqi, the Taliban's foreign minister, to discuss prisoner releases. Khalilzad emphasized that Donald Trump had prioritized the release and return of detained Americans from abroad. He expressed pride in playing a role in this effort. The US Department of State has called George Glezmann's release a positive and constructive step, noting that his freedom was secured with the mediation of Qatar. The successful release reflects the ongoing diplomatic efforts to address the complex issue of American citizens held in Afghanistan. While this marks a positive development, the situation of other detainees remains uncertain. Bangladesh's interim government has no plans to ban the Awami League, Chief Advisor Muhammed Yunus said on Thursday, adding that individuals within its leadership accused of crimes including murder and crimes against humanity will be tried in Bangladesh. In a statement, the press wing of Yunus' office said the remarks were made during a meeting with the delegation from the International Crisis Group led by its president, Comfort Euro. The comment by Yunus comes amid calls by protesters and the newly formed NCP of barring Hasina-led party in the elections. They argue that the Awami League's dominance has undermined democratic practices in Bangladesh. On the electoral front, Professor Yunus confirmed that elections would proceed as scheduled regardless of political demands. If parties propose limited reforms, the vote will take place in December. However, if they seek a broader reform package, the elections will be scheduled for June next year, the statement said, quoting Muhammed Yunus. He added the interim government has no reason to change the election dates, asserting that the process will be conducted freely and fairly. And Nepal's Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli has announced that he has no immediate plans to visit the disputed tri-junction region of Limpiyadhura, Lipulekh and Kalapani, an area that has been a point of contention between Nepal and India. Oli's remarks came during a parliamentary debate on Thursday, where an opposition lawmaker questioned whether the Prime Minister intended to visit the region. Speaking further, Oli stated that until 1962, the disputed area was part of Nepal's official map. He attributed the subsequent omission of the region to Nepal's former monarchy, blaming the party-less panchayat system introduced by King Mahendra for modifying the original map. Notably, during his previous term as Prime Minister in 2020, Oli issued a new map that included the Indian territories of Limpiyadhura, Lipulekh and Kalapani, which was incorporated into Nepal's constitution through an amendment. New Delhi rejected the revised map, calling it an artificial enlargement of claims that was not based on historical facts or evidence and therefore untenable.
यो कुरा 1962 सम्म त्यो भूभाग नेपालकै अधीनमा थियो र नेपालको नक्सा पनि तदनुसार नै थियो र तदनुसार जस्तो अहिलेको नक्सा छ त्यही बमोजिम नै पहिले पनि थियो 62 भन्दा अघि त्यसपछि नेपालको नक्सा किन फेरियो कसले फेर्यो कसको सरकार थियो कस्तो व्यवस्था थियो कसको व्यवस्था थियो मान्यजीलाई याद होला भन्ने म
Sri Lanka could face losses of up to $1.23 billion if it loses its generalized scheme of preferences plus trade benefits with the European Union, a new study by the Institute of Policy Studies has showed. With the absence of the preferential tariff scheme, the report noted that Sri Lanka risks facing a tariff increase from its GSP plus concessions to most favored nation levels, which could potentially result in a loss of 36.7% of its exports to the EU. It is worrying as it will dwindle Sri Lanka's export value while impeding the diversification of its export product basket toward products with high technology content, the report said. The EU is a major market for high technology products such as transformers, which accounted for 50% of Sri Lanka's exports to the EU in 2019. The wearing apparel sector was also identified as an industry that could be among the hardest hit. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time next week. Have a great weekend. Good night.